Be a part of Going In Raw today at patreon.com/Steven Larson. Starting at $1 a month, you can enjoy Going In Raw ad-free, gain access to the daily 30-minute Going In Raw post show, exclusive merchandise, and so much more. Support Going In Raw today. Click the link in the description.
Boys and girls, this is the Undisputed Era. Adam Cole, Kyle O'Reilly, Roderick Strong, and you're listening to Going In Raw, baby.
What's up, it's your girl Sasha Banks, the legit boss, and you're watching Going In Raw. You like that?
This is Shayna Baszler, and you're watching Going In Raw.
What's up? This is the most must-see WWE superstar of all time and his lovely, gorgeous wife, Marie. And you are going in SmackDown Live.
This is the glorious one, Bobby Roode, and you're watching Going In Raw.
Hey guys, this is Charlotte, and you're watching Going In Raw.
What's up? It's the moonwalking, trash talking princess of Staten Island. I want to remind you all that Mela is money, and you're watching Going In Raw.
Hi, this is Shinsuke Nakamura. Shinsuke watching Going In the Raw.
This is the knockout artist, Cassius Ohno, and you're Going In Raw.
Hey, friendo, Steve here.
And Larson.
And welcome back to Going In Raw, the only pro wrestling podcast you need to be listening to right here at youtube.com/Steve and Larson, available wherever fine podcasts are. Be sure to hit that subscribe button and the notify bell just to make sure you're always getting your daily Going In Raw notifications. We're also available on the Patreon at patreon.com/Steve and Larson. We have a variety of reward tiers starting at $1. At $1, you can get this show completely and totally advertisement free. That's right. If you watch us on YouTube, you don't pay for YouTube Premium, which is like $10 a month.
Hold on.
What?
That's all good and stuff. But you got the sticker here. Pro wrestling's cool. It's cool and all. Voting's cooler. If you haven't voted yet, stop watching the show. Go vote.
Oh, you can't even see it. It's all like, there it is.
It's right there. Go vote, then come back and watch the show. Or if you got your mobile device that can stream while you go vote, best of both worlds, do that. Anyway, sorry, I wouldn't get that out there. You voted. You can have the sticker. I didn't get a sticker because I did it absentee. We voted. Please, go vote. That's the end of it. Go. Continue. Carry on.
Well, no, I'm gonna piggyback that. Because this morning I went and voted, got my little sticker, and I was so happy to vote. I love election day. Mm-hmm. May not always appreciate the outcome, but I love the entire country. And man, every single time I go down there to vote, the nicest people volunteering. That's not an easy job, I wouldn't imagine. You got the weight of the world in your hands, basically.
It's a long day.
It's a long day. You're there from like probably 6 till 8, maybe?
Something like that,
I forget what time the polls open.
There might be 2 shifts, nonetheless. It's probably a long day.
Still, my goodness gracious. And it is seriously the most important thing you could do here in the good old United States of America, or if you're lucky enough to live in a democracy. So I put the call out. I said, hey, anybody who sends us a picture of your little sticker, let us know. We'll retweet you. I'm going to do some verbal retweeting right now. Marcus Stewart, he hit us up. He showed us his voting sticker. Ivan Avendano said, I didn't get a sticker, but I just dropped off my ballot. So, hey, it's okay. You don't need to say. You don't have a sticker, but you voted.
I did vote.
So you're good. You're good.
Yeah, I think when when you vote absentee, I don't think you get a sticker. You have to go to your polling station. I guess I could have dropped off my ballot at the polling station if I really wanted a sticker. But.
Whiplash. I literally just filled out my ballot last night and dropped it off this morning. Although there's something to be said about voting in a booth.
Yeah.
Because it's like old-timey traditional.
You go to your local community center or church or whatever, and you wait in line, get the buzz, everybody talking about issues.
Chris Redacted, Gary Oransky, Karen, of course, our amazing mod, one of our amazing mods, and Death by Maracas. Those are just a couple of the people that sent us that info. So, definitely go vote. You guys have till tonight. So go do that.
And then we follow the 538 Election Day blog to get trends and results.
Yeah.
You remember last time there was a major election? We were shooting a SmackDown recap. You can see the dark cloud just descend over us as we're watching the results come in.
Hey, I'll say this for anybody, because every once in a while we'll let it slip where we lean politically, and we're basically on the same page with that. Wrestling is one of those things that sort of can transcend that. Like, people here in chat, y'all can talk about what you want to talk about. politics, it's not really fun to talk about if you're on the internet and you're like, ugh, like that. But, we like to keep it, the talk about wrestling. But anybody here that, will see one of my tweets, especially because I can't contain myself sometimes on Twitter, that sees some of my tweets that shows where I go politically, you can go back and watch the SmackDown episode from the first Tuesday in November, or first Wednesday in November. No, Tuesday night.
Tuesday
Wednesday
night.
morning.
Yeah, that's back when we would watch SmackDown, do a recap right afterwards.
In November of 2016.
Yep.
You can watch the life get sapped from us, and you might experience a little bit of satisfaction from that. I hope not. But yeah, it's all in good fun. It's a great process that we have here, and we're lucky to have it.
Yes, we are. And it's always good to exercise that right.
Yeah.
So go vote. Anyways, continue on with the plug. Sorry.
So anyways, another great way to support Going In Raw is on the Patreon. Like I said, $1 a month. You'd be surprised at how far that goes here with the show because it all adds up. We got some brand new patrons over the last 24 hours. I'm going to read them off. Joshua Morgan, Zach, Nathan Gibson, Cactus Jackie, PCW President Dr. Troy Alexander.
Wow.
Robert Kelly, Mike Radcliffe, and Barat. Not Borat, but Barat.
All right. Thank you, everybody.
Very nice. So yeah, and then we're also at prowrestlingtees.com/goinginraw. If you order some Pro Wrestling Tees, you get a postcard. We'll send it to you. We send it to you separately. We autograph it and send it to you.
Yeah.
I got to take care of a couple of those today.
Got a lot to do today.
Yeah. In a nutshell, before we get these...
you always ask me this.
These super chats, Raw in a nutshell. Come on, give me some positivity.
It's too long.
What did you like? Name one thing you liked.
Drew.
Yeah.
Drew is the best.
Yeah.
He is the absolute best.
To me, of course it's too long. It's 3 hours long. That's not going to change. But Drew, especially with the position they gave him for the main event slot to murder Kurt Angle.
Because that's essentially what it was. It was an execution.
Thank you. It was an execution. It was a straight up murder happened.
Yeah.
Oh, man. And can I suggest this? Maybe that's how they should book all old people. Here's the thing.
No, it's totally believable.
I'm 40 years old.
Yeah.
I'm 40 years old. If I was a wrestler at the age of 40, I'd want to get annihilated by somebody who's 25 because that's the future.
Yes.
That's the
and
future
it's believable,
right
especially
there.
with Kurt. Granted, he's a legend. I'm sure he's in really good shape.
Mm-hmm.
Nonetheless, he's almost 50 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And if he's in a ring against someone the caliber of Drew McIntyre,
yeah,
he should get destroyed.
Yeah. That is really, really good. That's really good creative. Somebody called me out in the comments on YouTube yesterday when I said, I want to see the Elite in WWE because I want to see what WWE creative would have for them.
Mm-hmm.
I think here's the thing. There's plenty to really appreciate about WWE and Vince and what Vince does. There's plenty to appreciate. I personally think he's gotten the Universal title scene comically bad. Well, it's been on and off. Like we had Kevin Owens, that was really good.
Yeah.
I personally like the Goldberg Brock Lesnar stuff. I thought that was good. It was spectacle. You go back and look at the look on your face when that 90-second match happened when Goldberg annihilated Brock, and go ahead and try to tell me that there wasn't something there. That pushed some buttons right there.
Well, yeah, push buttons does not say I enjoyed it. I've been consistent all along that I thought the Kevin Owens and Chris Jericho should have been feuding for the Universal title going to Mania. That's been my.
But just the moment of watching Goldberg,
there was that
destroy Brock Lesnar.
I was like, oh crap, I can't believe that just happened.
Those are the best moments in wrestling. Those are the best moments in wrestling. Like, oh my God, I can't believe that just happened. That was crazy. Anyways, I think that it's been hit or miss for the Universal title scene. Not to say that like on a very regular basis, I openly and very publicly and happily sing the SmackDown praises because I think it's creative.
A great show.
And who, in the end, who does that boil down to? Boils down to Vince.
Yeah.
That's who it boils down to. He seems, I was watching a Cultaholic video from like a week ago, and apparently there's some backstage news, and this has to do, it's kind of obvious, but it's always fun to hear about this stuff, that Vince really likes Leo Rush, and that's why he's taking a more active role. Hey, I really like this guy. Let me control everything he does.
I know. I like this guy. Let me micromanage him to the nth degree. I know.
Yeah.
So, let me control everything he does.
Exactly. So,
whereas I think if you'd really like someone's talents,
mm-hmm.
you would trust them to do what they do best. That's not how Vince operates, though.
Well, sometimes it is. Sometimes it's not. I mean, we've seen him let people do what they're going to do,
But it's in recent history, it seems more often
Leo Rush is like, what is he, 20? He's
23-year-old piece of gold, yeah. But this is recent history between this, when Vince was writing those abysmal promos for Roman.
That was bad.
It seems like when Vince takes a very strong interest in something and wants to control it, it turns out for the worst. Lately.
On occasion. I mean, we can point to situations where that's happened, but I mean, overall, I think there's a lot to like about the main roster product. Of
course there always is. Like, we always say Raw can be a chore to watch sometimes because it's 3 damn hours long, but there's generally always one really good match.
And in this situation, there was a couple things. In last night's episode, I thought there was a couple things that I really liked. But the Drew Kurt Angle thing, here's when Vince is best. When the stakes are fair, are low-ish. When he's not worried about the big money guys, like how he felt Roman Reigns was, and what he obviously thinks about Brock Lesnar. When he's not worried about, when he's worried about that stuff, he's really worried about stuff. That's when he gets like super controlling, and that's how it feels, anyways.
Yeah, and usually it doesn't turn out very well.
But you're right. Letting Drew McIntyre destroy Kurt Angle in the main event on Raw, that's a really good move.
Yeah.
That's a really good move because the Universal title scene right now doesn't play into that.
No.
Now, once they get to there, he'll probably mess it up. But no, I like that. There was a bunch of stuff that I actually really liked about Raw last night. But
it's just too damn long.
I told you this before the camera's rolling. You can like an hour of Raw and really like it. You can really like it.
Yeah. There's
still 2 hours left.
Here's the thing. I'll compare it Raw on a weekly basis to Revenge of the Sith.
Okay, please go ahead.
So Revenge of the Star Wars prequels are by and large crap.
Yes.
They're terrible.
Oh, they're awful.
But there's a decent half hour in Revenge of the Sith. Mm-hmm. There's a decent half hour.
Sure.
I won't say good.
Yeah.
And that's Raw most weeks.
Right,
there's a lot to wade through. Some of it's garbage. Some of it's decent.
Yeah.
But there's always generally something like a good half hour, hour of the 3 hour product.
Yeah.
You can sit, if you just condense it down to that, like the Hulu version is probably fun to watch.
Yeah, Tim Spulak sent us a little text or Twitter. I think it was a tweet, not text. I don't know. Tim doesn't have my number. Boy, that'd be a nightmare. That'd be a nightmare. Tim Spulak said that he really, really enjoyed the Hulu version.
Yeah, I can see that because
I had to stop that because once they started altering the boos and cheers on Hulu.
Did they do that at this show?
Oh, live? You mean like on the DVR version?
Yeah, on the live broadcast because I was watching it. Not my usual TV set, not my usual setup. And I don't know, like the cheers and boos, especially for the opening segment, sounded canned because they sounded uniform. Like when there was time when you'd expect the crowd to boo, was just boo without a whole lot of deviation. But
I don't know. Yeah, especially with the Brits. All the Brits are usually on target with them being in unison on stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of sad they didn't do the "if you hate Baron Corbin, shoes off."
Oh yeah.
I'm telling you, man, NXT UK has quickly become one of my favorite things because of that crowd.
Oh, the crowd's great.
Ivan says he thinks they edited out some of the boos for Ronda.
Oh, maybe.
I don't know about that. And Ronda also super impressed me. How is it she's only been around for like 10 minutes, and yet she can cut a promo than half the people on the roster? Like, Ronda cut that promo last night. Mm-hmm. I was super impressed.
It wasn't bad.
Then Nia comes down, and I'm like, Nia's been around for a little while now. Why does she still sound like a customer service representative? She still sounds like somebody who's asking to talk to a manager or something. She's so awkward when she talks.
She's so much better, Nia is, when she's not doing scripted dialogue. Like, her trash talk in the ring is good.
Yeah.
But part of that, what you're talking about, is just like the timbre of her voice.
It could be, but still, she hasn't. I'll put it this way: I think it's not that. I think it's a matter of comfortability.
Well, so I think when she's just ad-libbing lines, it's comfortable. There's no, she's not thinking; she's just doing. Whereas scripted dialogue, you got to think. You just can't do.
Ronda was killing it last night. That's got to be difficult, especially in front of a British crowd like that. That's just they'll hop on anything. I thought Ronda was killer last night, man. Jimmy Thomas here, and let's get some super chats. We'll get into the minutia of the show.
Yeah.
Jimmy Thomas here said, "Voting in person is cool. It's the only time I go to the public library."
Oh, that's cool. Charles McNeil, just $5. That's it. Thank you. Nathan Cody, happy to see Tamina get into a real program. Yeah, that's cool.
Oh, I was really happy. That's going to be a killer tag team right there.
Yeah, that's going to be a good tag team.
I got a text message from Hilton. Says, "Hey, you still watching Walking Dead?"
Did you tell him that you just caught up?
I'm not going to text him back till the show's over.
Good.
I'll do it during post show, which $5 net patrons can watch today.
Can witness Hilton. Steve text Luchando, Robert Lawback. Was there for the show last night. It was good fun, especially Elias was over as heck. People were absolutely shook when Angle tapped, as it should be.
Yeah, the crowd was like, yeah.
Suplex Casey can't stay because the Walmart grind, but go vote, indeed.
Most Wanted,
go vote.
$10 on the Streamlabs.
Oh, cool, thank you.
Said, I'm tired of the Riot Squad. There were a lot of stuff was repeating last night.
The end of that match didn't make any sense. Just ended. No count out. No one got pinned. No one submitted. It just ended.
Okay, so I thought I turned away and missed something. Was the end just the sunglasses thing?
Yeah.
And
John Cone wasn't counting.
And then it just fizzled away.
The crowd was counting the 10. Nobody else. John Cone wasn't counting. The ref wasn't counting. It irritated me.
Yeah,
Chris of Litez. I can't stop laughing at the Philly Flyers mascot Gritty. If you had a sports mascot rumble, who'd be last three and who would win and how? Well, it's going to be San Diego Chicken picks up the win, right? Isn't the Chicken the greatest all-time mascot? Name a better mascot than the Chicken.
I'm a hometown guy, man. Give me Slamson.
You want Slamson?
Give
Okay.
me Slamson.
You can have a strong showing.
I played basketball against Slamson.
Oh, really?
Assuming it's the same guy.
Oh, yeah.
That it was like 10 years ago.
So you got.
Hey, speaking of hometown sports, I got the hookup. I bugged Deuce and Mo so hardcore. Hey, teach their own, baby. We're not always a package deal. Do you want me to get on Twitter and complain openly to them for you? Do you want that? That's not a good look for you.
No, I know.
So I just kept.
What you gotta do is let me know that's the deal, and we can do it in unison.
Anytime. I'll hook you up. Anytime I would see Deuce or Mo, check them out. It's
they're great.
So this is the wrestling podcast you need to be listening to. Theirs is the sports podcast you need to be listening to at deuceandmo.com. A couple of friends of ours.
Yeah.
And they're fantastic.
Yeah, they're great.
And every time I see either Deuce or Mo in somebody's Instagram at a Kings game and they're all posing with the shirt, I always hit them and say, that's a really nice shirt. Because they were supposed to give us these shirts ages ago.
Yeah.
So I just said, that's a really good shirt every single time. And then Mo would always say, oh, I keep on meaning to send you a shirt. And I'm like, well, that meaning doesn't mean you're doing it. So they finally did it. So I got my Deuce and Mo shirt.
Very well.
Very happy about that. Anyway.
San Diego Chicken, Philly Fanatic. You got to put those top two sports mascots.
Slamson.
No, Slamson's in it for sure.
Slamson. Anyways, let's break down this.
Oh, we have one more from Charles McNeil.
Uno más.
Just money.
Por favor.
No message, just money.
Muchas
All right, let's talk Raw. So the show opened up with the entire, or most of the Raw locker room on top of the stage. There's some security ringside. Baron Corbin comes out. He drops a promo amongst the nuggets of information he provides that Stephanie will be returning next week. Baron said, we need a real leader to captain Team Raw for Survivor Series. I will be captain. However, he can't due to his duties as general manager.
Mm-hmm.
But he said, I'm going to name the first two members of Team Raw. They are Dolph and Drew.
Heck yeah, man.
Drew especially, fantastic choice. And he also said, Braun Strowman is a member too, but he needs to learn how to respect authority.
Yeah.
Be a team player. And then he mentions that the women's team will be captained by Alexa Bliss. But then she said she's not actually competing in the Survivor Series match. She's just going to be a captain. So I don't know if there's still some injury issue with her.
Evidently. They cleared her, uncleared her, cleared her, uncleared her.
Because I guess at a house show she was in a match, but never
She
got
didn't
involved.
actually do anything, yeah.
So I wonder if it's a concussion thing. She's having some post-concussion issues.
She looked great in business casual, though.
Yeah.
She looked like, I mean, I don't like her attitude, but she seems like she'd make for a good, in terms she looks like a legit Kohl's manager, Macy's manager, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
She looked good.
Mm-hmm. And then Kurt Angle comes out, interrupts the proceedings, said he wants in on Survivor Series, and then he challenges Baron to a match and said if he wins, he's captain of Team Raw.
Yeah.
Baron at first says no, and then he agrees after Kurt Angle pretty much called him a coward.
Yeah. Fine, I'll do it.
And then Baron about to wrap up the segment, but Braun Strowman marches to the ring, destroys security, chases Baron. Heel locker room gets in his way. They start beating him up. Face locker room starts beating up heel locker room. And during the ensuing scrum, Baron goes backstage. Braun gives chase.
I like Braun makes me laugh when he runs.
Yeah.
He runs it's really funny to watch him run.
His upper body doesn't move at all when he runs.
You're right, it doesn't.
It's just all legs.
It's really, and it's only just from like the knees down. It's like cartoonish. It's like,
yeah, I was gonna say that. It's like
he's like a Flintstones character.
Or was it Roadrunner?
Yeah, right.
Or his upper body would always stay still, but his legs were
constantly
really churning.
It's also really slow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unlike Roadrunner, he was fast.
He was very fast. That's why they named high-speed internet after him.
Yes, indeed.
Anyways, after that, we had a Sasha Bailey and Natalya interview.
Natalya said tonight, for inspiration, she's going to wear her dad's sunglasses.
Not a good idea. Not a good idea.
Probably not a good idea to bring any items with sentimental value down to ringside because they're probably going to get broken.
Exactly. They don't let pregnant people at ringside. You know, like when Maurice was like full on with child, they're not going to let her near a match at ringside. Similarly, don't bring your dad's sunglasses down there. You know, baby might get hurt and friggin' sunglasses might get broken. That's what happened.
Yeah. They gave this match a ton of time. Natalya, Sasha, and Bailey versus Riot Squad. Of course, is a rematch from Evolution.
I mean, these six all have good chemistry in the ring, but God dang, we've seen this before.
We have, and this will just seem like a longer version of their Evolution match.
Yeah.
And if they're... So the finish saw Natalya put Sarah Logan in a sharpshooter. Ruby Riott grabs Natalya's dad's sunglasses. Threatens to break them.
Oh, yeah.
Natalya breaks the hold. Ruby breaks the sunglasses.
Yeah, ooh.
And then the match just ends. There's no counting.
Well, it's a pretty hard moment, man. Like, at that point, I think you just assume, ooh, like, I don't really. The match just needs to fizzle out, man.
Well, no,
I get it.
There's a match. There needs to be a winner and loser, or DQ, or double count out, or something. The match doesn't stop because someone is heartbroken, Steve.
Hold on a second. Have you read through that entire book of rules? I'm sure there's something in there.
I can't find Rule 1 in this book. This is someone's damn doodle pad.
There, the bot sent us that.
Yes, and I'm sure it's an enjoyable read, but look at this. Where is there a rule in here? There's no ordinance numbers. There's no sections based on, like when to count a pinfall and when not. I don't see any of that in here. This is literally someone's journal.
Who do you think did all those scribblings?
I don't know.
May I see it? Is there like a forward that explains why it's just like a zine status?
Yeah, Daniel Bryan wrote the forward in here.
Did he know? Did he understand that it was just like a bunch of doodles?
I don't know. It's ridiculous.
It's a mess, dude.
It's moderately entertaining, but it's not informative in the least. And
it's like the House of Leaves. It's just confusing and frustrating.
Yeah, I know. So, anyways,
I think a match could end due to awkwardness, man. I really do. Look at the Montreal Screwjob.
No, but the bell rang. The ref called for the bell. That match had an end.
Under duress.
Nonetheless, the ref called for the bell because he said someone tapped out. That's an end. You can say the end was in question, but it was an end.
Yeah.
There was no end of this other than Natalya was on ringside crying because...
Remember that match where Sid destroyed his leg and like broke it?
There was still a finish in that match.
There was still a finish, but it was pretty hilarious because Animal was supposed to be coming down as the masked man.
Yeah.
And he unmasked. And they started like beating up on Sid as if two guys were needed to get the job done.
I know.
The guy has a leg hanging by a thread.
I know.
And they're like, yeah, let's still beat him up, I guess. That makes all the sense in the world. Then they replayed it a million times. Anyways, backstage, Braun was looking for Baron. That was a running thread throughout the show. It was actually fairly comical.
Yeah, it's fine.
The thing that I liked was the later on one when Baron was giving an interview with Charlie, who is his freaking she kept on.
That's where she said, well, why'd you make a makeshift studio down here? And where they was like, well, you just disclosed my location.
And within a moment, a heartbeat after that, Braun had found them.
I know. But just that Baron, that was his issue. You just disclosed my location.
Yeah, that was great.
That was pretty
And then
funny.
later on in the car, he's like, "What is your problem today?" Charlie just kept on screwing him over. It was funny.
It was funny.
But again, there was 2 additional hours.
Yeah.
Jinder Mahal versus Apollo Crews.
This is preceded by an elongated HBK Triple H versus Brothers of Destruction recap. Saw the spot where I guess Triple H ripped his pectoral muscle, that spot where he got tossed out of the ring. That's what I read. He posted a picture on Twitter. He's all sorts of swollen
That
up
is
and
brutal.
bruised.
That picture is brutal.
He's got swelling down to his upper arm.
It's like
it looks bad.
It's deep, dark, evil purple shade
and puffy.
Like right here, and puffy. Dude, stop wrestling.
Here's another highlight of the show for me. I thought Apollo Crews did a good job with his promo.
Me too.
He's finally got a gimmick to work with.
Explain.
Human highlight reel of Raw, the Dominique Wilkins of Raw.
It's great.
And it's a gimmick that's fitting of his immense
It
in-ring
suits him.
talent.
It suits him, absolutely.
And it finally gives him something to sink his teeth into from a character perspective.
It's been years.
Yeah, which he's badly needed since he signed with NXT.
Absolutely.
So I'm all for it. He picked up a win over former WWE champion Jinder Mahal. Has anybody fallen further than Jinder Mahal has in 2018?
I don't know, man.
He's come full circle to being pretty much exactly what he was before he won the title.
Yeah.
And the whole point I thought of putting a title on him, well, one of the points, was to elevate him so he could be a consistent, solid mid-card heel, which hasn't really come to fruition.
No, come on. I think he's a solid... I mean, look, the mid-card's always a mess. He's like, SmackDown doesn't even have really a mid-card.
No, they don't have time for a mid-card.
Is Jinder... Jinder's not in the loser's locker room, though. He's not.
He's getting close.
No way.
He's getting close.
I feel like Jinder did... Here's the thing. I don't know if Jinder was ever going to be... I don't know how far that belt really could have elevated him, but I feel like this is about appropriate for being Jinder Mahal.
See, in my mind, if you...
Whenever they need... like a sort of non-important heel, they go to him. They don't go to anybody else.
No, I understand. But in my mind, when I hear solid mid-card heel, I think of someone that can occasionally challenge for a mid-card title.
Like
and
Elias 2 weeks ago. Something like that.
Elias was on, he's on much stronger footing as a mid-card heel than Jinder is.
That's
right
what
now.
you're talking about.
Yes.
Though. Okay, yeah, sure.
Like if 2 or 3 weeks ago, if we would have started the beginning of a program that would have seen Elias contend for the Intercontinental title, it would have been believable.
Yeah.
If Jinder gets put into a program for the Intercontinental title, it's going to seem like he was
weird.
Like what happened when he was given the world title.
Yeah.
Out of nowhere.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
So I kind of feel like he's come all the way back around to kind of just being top heel jobber at this point.
You know, I'm a big mark for 538, right?
Uh-huh.
And you listen to it from
I
time
listened
to
on the way over here.
Okay. I don't know if you've listened to one of these episodes, but from time to time they'll play a game called Who Would You Rather Be?
Yeah.
Okay. Have you heard that?
Yeah.
And basically, for those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, it's a politics podcast, and they look at polling data, and that sounds boring, and I love it. It's amazing. But they say things like, who would you rather be, this politician running in this race or this politician running in this race? And they take a look at the numbers and what, I want to do that like for post show or something. Who would you rather be? So I'm going to do it right now real quick.
That's good.
Who would you rather be right now? Jinder Mahal or Bobby Roode? That look on your face.
Well, I guess if I were Jinder, I could at least rest my hat knowing that I was at least once WWE champion.
Mm-hmm. True.
And with that in my back pocket, there's always the idea that could potentially happen again, assuming that people were happy with my previous run.
Mm-hmm.
There's really nothing that Bob Roode has accomplished on the main roster that I feel like would give anybody any semblance of confidence that he could do anything more than what he's already doing. So in that sense, I'd say Jinder Mahal.
So then maybe to answer your question, like in terms of who has fallen further, isn't it Bobby Roode?
Yeah, I suppose.
I always have, and I think it's probably just me. I have a weird affinity for Jinder.
I like Jinder too. I thought he did the best he probably could with his world title run.
I know,
given the circumstance.
And I don't think they gave him nearly what they should have for creative.
A lot of the creative involved in it was garbage.
Mm-hmm.
But he did what he could,
and he still does what he can. It's just Raw is this swamp for guys like him. If you're not Seth Rollins, you're not Dean Ambrose. If you're one of the other guys, like Apollo Crews, thank God. I thought for sure that the domino effect of Roman leaving was Apollo Crews going to fall back off the radar, but apparently they're not doing that.
Here's the thing that SmackDown does, and granted they have the benefit of one less hour that Raw just apparently can't or doesn't do.
Sure.
What would R-Truth be doing on Raw right now if you were there?
Yeah. It would the swamp. He'd be in the swamp.
Whereas SmackDown finds a way from time to time to take underutilized talents, wrap them into a storyline, and make them interesting.
I wouldn't be, as much as we sort of lament, as much as disappointed as we are with the role of Ty Dillinger, it would not surprise me at all if 3 months from now, he's in a solid mid-card spot on SmackDown if everything stays the same.
If this seems like on SmackDown, if they find an interesting angle to take with your character, they will run with it.
They run with it, yeah, for sure.
Whereas on Raw, we'll see Apollo Crews last night pick up a really solid win over Jinder Mahal and then not be on the show for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And then when he comes back, it's not in a program. He's just having matches.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what I mean is R-Truth, he's been involved in a variety of little storylines over the last couple of months.
Yeah.
And this Raw doesn't seem to do that. They'll just have someone show up for a little bit, get in a match, say, oh, here's kind of a new angle for him, and then drop it kind of.
Wonder who came up with the Apollo Crews, the human highlight reel of Monday Night Raw. I wonder who came up with that idea, because talk about perfectly suiting the guy. And it seems so easy and simple, but it's taken this long because it's like, where do you focus on? Do you focus on the dude's like personality vis-a-vis his promos, or do you focus on what he can do in the ring?
Yep.
And some of that stuff is absolutely crazy, and they're showing it bit by bit. When he does the stuff when he because he's sort of a stout dude.
Yeah. He's
but
jacked.
the fact that he can do the flip stuff is awesome. Is really cool. It's like, whoa, hold on that.
And he picked up a win over Jinder with a military press slam and a standing moonsault.
Yep. So good stuff. We're happy
he's
for
great.
Apollo Crews.
Next, Seth Rollins came down the ring with the tag titles and his Intercontinental title. I still kind of feel like he's a little too happy. Needs to be some more simmering resentment, anger.
Well, he was literally draped in titles.
I know.
That's going to make him feel a little bit better.
Yeah, I know, but he's holding tag titles by himself. So he's lost his partner because his partner turned on him.
Yeah.
But he comes out there, he's chewing gum. He seems pretty casual about the whole thing.
Yeah, he was. You're right. It was almost back to pre-Shield reunification. Seth Rollins.
Yeah.
Where he was back to being sort of like, hey, I'm probably going to be top babyface that isn't Braun Strowman like Seth Rollins, which just makes you wonder, why is he not the Universal Champion right now? What is it about Roman that they didn't see in Seth that Seth could have totally been the guy? Seth totally can be the guy.
Oh yeah.
Why wouldn't they have him be the guy?
I don't know. Imagine what would happen if Roman had turned on the Shield instead of Seth.
That'd have been good stuff. So anyways, he drops promo. He talks about a lot of stuff. He talks about
Brock Lesnar.
Slap in the face. That felt like a shoot. What a slap in the face it was for Brock Lesnar to win that Universal Championship. He said not just to Roman, but to me and everybody in the back in the locker room. What else did he talk about? I forget now.
He said, well, I got these tag titles, and he said, he seemed like he was about to vacate the tag titles. He's like, I don't know if I can defend these by myself. And then Baron appears on the Titantron and says, oh, you better find your partner because you have a match right now for the tag titles against these guys. Out walks Authors of Pain.
Yeah. Is Drake Maverick looking more and more like a CG character every week?
I can see that.
He comes out and he looks more and more every week like computer graphics. Like a weird cutscene face. It's weird, man. I came up with a good gimmick for him. Is he on the game? Is he in the game?
I don't remember.
Maybe somebody made a really good Drake Maverick.
Oh, I'm sure they
I have
did.
a good gimmick for him for We Book Raw. I'm not going to talk to you about it on air.
Okay.
Because that's in the booking room.
Yes.
That's the booking committee.
It is.
Yeah. So anyways, Authors of Pain come out. Let me ask you something. I know it's Seth Rollins.
Yeah.
I get this.
Yeah.
Why did they have a hard time putting Seth Rollins away?
Because of Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins is really, for years, he's been super protected.
Yeah, but man, this one time, it would make all the sense in the world for them to annihilate him. Because they're supposed to be annihilators.
Yeah,
and he is one person and there's two of them.
I agree.
Why? Dude, why was there a commercial break during this match? This should have ended immediately. It's two monsters versus one man.
It does a disservice to Authors of Pain.
It's totally okay for Seth to eat a gnarly loss here. It's totally and in fact, hey, guess what? It probably helps him to eat a gnarly loss here.
It does. I think a lot of it goes back to his demeanor just when he walks out. If he comes out and there's conflict within him, then you can always make the case, well, he's preoccupied with this Dean stuff. He didn't really seem to give a damn.
right. Yes, exactly.
Because he mentioned, he's like, I want to know, Dean, why, I want to know, but I know he's not going to tell me, so I'll have to beat it out of you later, is pretty much what he said.
Yeah.
There's no urgency there. There's no urgency in how Seth is carrying himself.
Yeah.
And so if you have him come out and be like, Dean, we got to work this out. You got to tell me something's got to happen here.
Oh, Alex,
this has to come to a head.
Alex Foster says Drake Maverick is in the game as a manager.
Oh, there you go. So I think that's part of it.
Mm-hmm.
If he comes out and he's preoccupied by the Dean stuff,
yeah,
and he comes out instead of kind of lightheartedly, talking about stuff and making reference to Brock, and says, obviously I am but a man.
Mm-hmm,
I can't defend these tag titles by myself. Here you go.
Mm-hmm.
And then Baron says, "Oh no, we gotta have a match to determine blah 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 blah."
Yeah.
And Seth is like, "Well, obviously I'm in no state to do this."
Mm-hmm.
Authors of Pain come in, destroy him. Powerbomb, last chapter, 1, 2, 3, the end.
Yeah.
45-second match. It would have made sense because Seth, his head is not in the match.
Yeah, and it would have shocked the crowd.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. And God, how great would the Authors of Pain look?
And how much heat would Dean get because of it?
Big time. Yeah, exactly.
And now it's like, I don't feel like Dean has heat. People aren't going to cheer him, but him turning on Seth should have gotten him nuclear heat.
It could have been, and at first it did.
It did.
It could have, but it could have. I know your point. It could have continued. It could, he should be at Ciampa levels right now.
Mm-hmm.
He should really be at Ciampa levels right now. Instead, his actions since that turn have. I can almost guarantee they might mimic creatives. Because I kind of feel like they don't know what to do with him, so they're just sort of having him do nothing.
So they give him a nice new haircut and a new jacket.
Yeah.
And there's having him kind of just being.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna tell you why.
Yeah.
Because we don't know why.
Because creative doesn't really know why yet. So I'm just gonna be quiet about it. You want to know why? Dirty deeds.
I know.
That's what happens. That's what happens. So Dean comes down after the Authors of Pain pick up the tag titles. Seth is still laying there, and he says, "You want to know why? You want to know why?" And Seth's like, "Yeah, why? Just freaking tell everybody. Come on, just get it out." Because here's the problem. You build it up, so it's going to be a letdown now because you know that A, they don't know why, and B, they're going to pull something out of their asses that is going to make half a lick of sense, and it's going to be underwhelming.
Yep.
So the more every week, when he says, "You want to know why? You want to know why?" Ooh, I don't tell you. I give you dirty deeds instead.
And every week, if Dean attacks, the level of viciousness has to increase.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
just one dirty deeds doesn't cut it.
Yeah.
You're not getting heat on Dean. Like people just kind of like, "Oh, I'm boo."
Yeah,
boo on you for turning on Seth.
I do appreciate, though. I will say this: I do appreciate, regardless of how they did it, I do appreciate that the Authors of Pain now have the tag titles.
Yeah, that's cool.
I'm cool with that. I'm glad they didn't sort of keep the tag titles hostage. Or do something, you know what would have been worse? What if they did this? If they had Seth beat a couple of tag teams before he finally lost the Authors of Pain, that's totally conceivable. They would have done something like that.
Yeah.
And worse, it would have been the Revival.
Yeah, I know.
He would have beat the Revival.
I know.
And then maybe
the Ascension.
Yeah, yeah, for sure, the Ascension.
Seth, you're emotionally in the wasteland.
Exactly. So yeah. Anyways, before we continue, here is a word from our sponsor, forhims.com. Hey, Larson.
Yeah?
2 out of 3 men start losing their hair by the age of 35. I'm not saying that next part.
Okay. And
I'm not going to make fun of you.
And if you're noticing a receding hairline or a bald spot, would you rather try odd solutions or worse yet, do nothing at all, or turn to science and medicine?
Science!
With forhims.com, you can get your hands on well-known generic equivalents to brand-name prescriptions to treat hair loss and say goodbye to snake oil pills and gas station supplements.
I'm trying to look at my bald spot right now. I do a good job covering it up. Larson, tell me.
Yeah?
Do you still need to waste time sitting around a waiting room just to go in for an awkward doctor's visit to get yourself some Hims? I can't stand those awkward doctor visits.
No, none of that. Hims offers real doctors and medical-grade solutions to deal with your hair loss. Just go to forhims.com, answer a few questions, and a doctor will look over your order, and guess what?
What?
Product shipped directly to your door.
Magic. Right now, Going In Raw listeners can get a trial months of Hims for only $5 right now while supplies last. Go to forhims.com/GIR. That's forhims.com/GIR.
And again, we'd like to thank forhims.com for sponsoring today's episode. And you're really helping out Going In Raw by going to forhims.com/GIR.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Anyways, what happened next?
Baron Corbin interview. Braun finds him, destroys security. There's this funny bit where one of the security guards is holding on to Braun's ankle while he's walking away.
That was pretty funny. Yeah.
That was amusing.
We forgot to mention, did this happen when Braun annihilates security? That happened at the beginning, right?
Yeah.
And man, he gave a boot to a dude. The first one, the boot was really bad. But then there was this awkward bit where
he lifted up a guy and almost dumped him on top of another dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, man. He was annihilating those British local enhancement talents.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're all going to show up on NXT UK next week. Let's see here.
Next, we had a Dolph Ziggler promo.
Yeah.
Talking about how he was, I guess, screwed out of winning World Cup tournament best in the world. They didn't. This whole episode, they didn't call it the World Cup tournament. They just called it the best in the world tournament. Did you notice that? No one said World Cup.
Yeah, no, they did a couple times. Dolph did. He said WWE's World Cup.
No.
That's what he called it.
But I feel like more often than not, they just said the best in the world tournament.
Maybe they said that too. I just, for some reason, I remember. And again, it's me. Take it with a grain of salt.
Yeah.
With my memory, like a dough.
Not the mind stellar.
Right? Exactly. I'm pretty sure I heard WWE. Because here's the thing. I think I noticed it because nobody was giving it the full name, WWE Cup, to determine the best in the world. I'm pretty sure he just said WWE's World Cup.
But then also I think at least once or twice he said denied best in the world tournament.
Best in the world tournament.
So they were saying either World Cup or best in the world, not the whole thing.
You think they're just making fun of it at this point?
Yeah.
That could be.
Especially if the reports about why there was even a World Cup tournament at Crown Jewel are true, then I think at this point.
It deserves it. He was interrupted by Elias.
Yeah.
Firm face Elias. The crowd was all about him.
But he still has the Elias attitude.
I know, and it's awesome. It's so great. And he did the Seven Nation Army riff.
Yeah.
Dun, 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 dun.
And he said that he wrote a song that could reunite Oasis.
Yeah, and then they showed there's a dude, I think his name is Miles Crane. He was in the front row.
All right.
I'm pretty sure remember when Balor was in that music video? You don't remember that?
Mm-mm.
It was like 6 months ago. All right, now I'm speaking out of my ass completely. I'm going to find out for sure. There's a dude who looked vaguely, and I mean very vaguely, like one of the Gallaghers.
Oh, all right.
And
I know who you're talking about. I saw that. Yeah.
And people, a couple people on Twitter were saying, wait, was one of the Gallaghers actually there? And I was like, no, I know enough about Oasis to know that wasn't either of them.
Yeah.
I don't think they would enjoy WWE. Well, maybe they would if they were drunk enough, maybe.
Maybe.
But a lot of people are saying, oh, then I was like, no, it was just a British dude. A lot of British dudes look like the Gallaghers. Oh, man.
So, of course, this led to a match between Dolph versus Elias.
Mm-hmm.
Decent match. They gave it some time. At one point, Dolph hit the zigzag. Elias got his foot on the rope.
Miles Kane.
All right.
See this dude right here. And I'm pretty sure Balor was in a music video of his.
Okay.
Like not that long ago.
All right. But Elias picks up the win with the drift away.
Yes.
After that, Kurt Angle interview. I don't really remember much about this. What did Kurt say?
Oh, yeah, there he is. He's got it because he has like a song, I think, or an album called Coup de Grace.
Oh, makes sense for Finn to be in it.
He's a friggin' wrestling mark, apparently. So, anyway.
Kurt Angle interview.
Yes.
He was in his wrestling gear. Don't remember what he said.
Me neither. I don't remember this. But next, I do remember Ronda Rousey promo.
Yes.
I mean, I'm sure Kurt Angle said something like, I'm going to win. Next up was the Ronda Rousey promo.
Addressing Becky Lynch in their match at Survivor Series.
Now, I don't know. I know some people maybe in chat were there at the thing. I was thoroughly, I already said this at the head of the show. I was impressed with her performance. And I thought that the boos, especially given that it was in the UK, and everybody loves Becky Lynch.
Mm-hmm.
And I imagine the closer you get to her, hometown, the more the love grows.
Yeah.
There are definitely some Becky chants.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But the boos did not come raining down on Ronda for challenging Becky.
Nope.
I thought part of that had to do with Ronda's approach, Creative's approach to it, and her approaches in her delivery. She essentially said, hey, you know what? I have all the respect in the world for Becky. I think she's fantastic. But she's able to turn it around in a way that doesn't seem like she's still fangirling. I thought her that line about she said, while you were in grade school, my mom was waking me up at 4:00 in the morning trying to break my arms. What is?
I think her mom was
is a wrestler
or judo.
Yeah.
Practitioner. I don't know.
So that's how she would.
Yeah.
not like an alarm clock. She would like
wake her up and they'd
always be ready, always be prepared.
They train.
Yeah. My dad used to wake me up because he would get up early because he would ride his bike to work, and he would have a flashlight, and he would wake me up by shining the flashlight from my door at me, and he'd say, "Hey, Stevie, I'm Beam Man," and I'm like, "Why are you doing this to me?" It's borderline child abuse.
Wow.
But it was the 80s.
Yeah.
So yeah, Rhonda's mom used to do that apparently.
And then she said, while you were training or something, I was in the Olympics, and while you were a stewardess, I was doing MMA stuff.
You got it. I was breaking down barriers in MMA.
Yeah.
Dominating divisions. But man, there was no stumbles.
No.
It was fire. It felt legit. It felt real. I am like, dude, that's got to be tough. Like a crowd like that many people, like that's not an easy crowd.
Oh, no.
That's the thing about the British crowd. I feel like you can get on their bad side really easy, but you can also get on their good side really easy, Like if you show them that you're really giving it your all, they will be with you.
Yeah.
But if you're trying to phone it in or you stumble, don't do that.
No.
They'll start talking about taking your shoes off.
Yep.
So I thought it was really, really good.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
It was good. She said, and she concluded it by saying,
said you think you call yourself the man, one of the baddest bitch on the planet.
Yeah. Ooh, use the B word.
I'm quoting.
And then Nia Jax, Mills on down.
Yeah.
She comes out. She's like, Rhonda, you're gonna show everybody that Raw's the best, and I'm gonna take your arm. I'm gonna take your arm off. I'm gonna be waiting.
No, I'm gonna be
waiting for you, champion.
And then Ember Moon walks to the ring for their match.
Yeah. Hell of a wrestler, Ember Moon.
Oh, she's great.
Again, also not great promo, but man, I don't care.
She's great. She's great in the ring.
Freaking ring work is
great
fantastic, in the ring. Man. So yeah, we had Nia Jax versus Ember Moon. Nia Jax got the win with a Samoan drop.
Like a pop-up Samoan drop.
Yeah,
it was
cool.
great.
Tamina hits the ring. And she stares down. What's up?
Nothing. No, I'm just
okay.
considering the segment. Well, like the end result is good.
Oh, I loved it. Tamina, hold on. Tamina.
I just said that
I thought there was a qualifier.
Well, the end result is good. It just part of Nia's performance was confusing because Tamina, gives Ember Moon the Samoan drop, and then Nia's like,
well, yeah, I think that there's confusion to be had there, right?
Here's the thing. The way they reacted afterwards, it seemed like this was all a planned thing.
Oh, I feel you. Okay.
Because when they raised the arms in celebration and Nia screams, and it's like, if this was a grand plan, why were you doing this when Tamina was attacking?
Oh, yeah.
And if it wasn't a grand plan, then it's kind of confusing how suddenly...
They immediately are on the same page?
Exactly.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, but come on, that's sort of... Don't you think that's sort of in the grand tradition of wrestling? That happens all the time when people align. It's like, wait a second, why are you just potatoing each other a second ago and now you're like on the same page?
No, I get that, but that's not what this... I mean, if it was...
I'm not saying it's the same thing. I'm just saying it's sort of the same thing. Like people act confused about stuff all the time, and they're like, "Oh no, it's see."
But if they do that, it's usually in an effort of subterfuge. But there was no subterfuge here because Ember Moon was already out.
Yeah,
she didn't see anything was going on between the two of them.
Look, man, this is the first time that Nia Jax has pulled a swerve, isn't it?
It's like the third time this year.
It's the first time this week that she's pulled a swerve. And maybe she's still getting. She still can't even cut a good promo. She's still getting used.
That's not true. She's cut at least a couple good promos.
Oh man, she has not.
She has.
She's cut promos where she didn't embarrass herself. That's about as far as I'll go with that.
Anyways, so
hey, Rhonda.
While Nia was kind of selling like, "Oh my gosh, what are you doing?" You could hear her telling Tamina, "All right, turn her over, turn her over." Mm-hmm. And so Tamina puts Ember in a Boston Crab. And then Nia starts dropping elbows.
That was great.
And then now apparently they're friendos.
Yeah, man. Absolutely. I'm all about
Which
it.
The end result, like I said, is fine. I felt like they're kind of teasing this all along.
Yeah.
And I think if there's going to be a women's tag division, if you have them as like this dominant, basically unbeatable force.
I know what you wanted. A T-shirt offering. Would that have made things better? Tamina has T-shirts made up of like both their faces.
Well, no, because it needs to be a stable or a faction if that's the case. It doesn't really
Why
exactly
doesn't it
work
with tag teams?
Because there's only one other person. That's it.
It should, man. We need
because the T-shirt is not only you're representing the faction, but it's when you it's the idea that the faction is going to grow. Tag teams don't normally grow from tag teams to factions. They're just tag teams.
That's true. That's true.
I mean, the Outsiders are an outlier in that regard.
Next up, we had a Finn Balor interview. I think I pegged it. I was talking with with Mikey Omega, the Friendoverse guru, if you will, over there on Facebook, and he was saying how he wants to see Finn go back to New Japan. And I always assert this: Finn is making so much more money and is, to be honest, frankly, a bigger star in WWE than he was in New Japan. He was just way cooler in New Japan. And when we were having this discussion right on the tail end of this of his promo, and he's got such a blank look in his eyes and that weird smile of his. I likened it to One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
The end after he was lobotomized.
Right, like pre-lobotomy Jack Nicholson is Finn in New Japan. Right?
Post-lobotomy.
Unfiltered.
Yeah.
Unstoppable. Like
uncensored.
Uncensored. Edgy. Ooh, what's he going to... Unpredictable. Who's that? What's he going to do next?
Yeah.
And then he gets a lobotomy and he's all... Balor Club is for everyone.
Yeah.
Maybe he had a lobotomy. I don't know.
Well, I mean, I think metaphorically speaking.
How much money could they make if it was like New Japan Finn? Oh my God.
Tons.
Just...
Tons.
Why don't I know that?
I don't know.
Ungodly amounts of just cash.
I know.
Flowing in.
I know.
For crazy Finn Balor.
It could be it'd be a Becky Lynch situation.
I know.
It would totally be a Becky Lynch situation.
I know. Ungodly amounts
just
of
make
cash.
him unhinged, even
unhinged.
the slightest.
Yes.
And people would love it.
Unhinged.
Next, Baron Corbin interview. He's getting into a limo. He says, I got to get out of here. I got a very special appointment. I can't take on Kurt Angle tonight. Drew McIntyre will take my place in the match.
Mm-hmm.
And then just as they said that, Braun comes running in, tries to chase a limo as it speeds off. Can't do it. Can't catch up.
It was pretty comical.
Next.
Oh, cool. Somebody did a Baron Corbin emote in the Discord.
Cool.
You guys are crazy.
Next, Bobby Lashley versus Finn Balor for the third week in a row. You guys are too much. Third week in a row, we get Bob Lashley versus Finn Balor. Leo Rush with a very scripted promo preceded the match.
Yeah, they did this backwards, dude. Here's the thing. First match, Finn Balor walks away with a fluke victory. The second match, Leo Rush realizes that he doesn't want another Finn fluke win, and so he distracts Finn, which is what he did in this match, leading to Finn getting in the ring. Bobby Lashley beats him. And then the last match, they realize Finn can take Bobby, and so they just beat him down at the end, which is what happened last week. They did this backwards. Right?
Yeah.
They just didn't know what they were doing.
No, they have no idea what they're doing week to week. That's the issue.
Where's this leading to?
Just a match where there's a blow-off and they move on to other things.
I guess so.
I don't see how this necessarily benefits anybody.
It really doesn't at all. Because Finn's going to lose this feud.
Probably.
And nothing will change.
And did you hear those boring chants at Leo Rush's promo? They were chanting boring.
Leo, I love you. I think you're great. Let's see if we can get them to chant boring.
This is like X-Pac heat territory they're dealing with.
It's starting to get there.
Yeah.
It's starting to get there. But God love freaking Leo Rush. He's on. Did you see he had an Instagram story where he was just sitting there eating something? What was it?
Was it a smoothie?
No, it wasn't a smoothie, oddly. He was eating something, and he just started saying, Lashley. And this was live on an Instagram. It wasn't just a story. It was a live stream. It was an Instagram live stream. And people were asking him questions stuff. He didn't say anything. He just kept on saying Lashley.
That's funny.
He's all in on that stuff. So good for him. Funny. Brass ring right there.
Yeah. Finish Finn. He was outside. Lashley was outside. Finn was trying to do a drop kick on Leo Rush. He's intercepted by Lashley. Drives him into the barricade. Back in the ring, Bobby hits his finisher. He picks up the win. Afterwards, Drew McIntyre comes down to the ring. Stare down between himself and Bob. Leo separates them.
Yeah.
And then Drew helps up Finn. Finn kind of slaps Drew on the chest saying thanks.
Mm-hmm.
Drew hits him with the Claymore.
Yeah.
Already right before his match with Angle even starts.
So, this is really...
Drew's in a bad mood.
They're
and
really...
it's great.
Yeah, no, it is. They're really... I mean, that was the cool thing about last night is that, obviously with the realignment with Roman being gone, Braun now big face guy in the Universal title scene. They need a top heel, and so in steps Drew. But I felt like last night they really solidified that, man, to destroy Kurt Angle the way he did, holy moly, and just the spotlight he was given. I love that. I mean, hopefully that means Vince really likes Drew, and then he's going to start micromanaging the hell out of Drew, and it'll be great. No, it'll be terrible. But hopefully he doesn't do that. Hopefully he just likes him and lets him do his thing.
Yes, brought us to our main event, Drew McIntyre versus Kurt Angle. Kurt Angle attacked Drew before the bell, looking to get the early advantage. He hits an Olympic slam. And Drew wisely rolls out of the ring. We come back from commercial, and it really wasn't much of a match after that. Drew beats the hell out of Kurt Angle. And then hits him with the Claymore, but he doesn't go for the pin.
No, and there was a great sequence where they just had like a close-up on Drew, and that dude is so much money, and you can just see the thought process of him like, I'm going to pick apart this old man and show everybody what the deal is.
Yeah.
With ease.
Yes.
With ease.
And so he presents Kurt with his leg, saying, go for it. Shoot.
Mm-hmm.
Take a try at this. Angle does shoot. Drew just beats him down.
Yep.
And again, Drew says, here's my leg. Do what you can with it. Again, Drew beats him down. Kurt Angle eventually gets an ankle lock on Drew. Drew reverses, and then Drew hits Kurt with an angle slam, puts Angle in the ankle lock. Kurt has to tap.
Brutal.
Man, heat.
Brutal.
Top heel on Raw right now, Drew McIntyre.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And it's awesome.
That was loud and clear last night.
Yep.
Yeah,
great stuff. He's awesome.
That is great. That is really good. We've got a SmackDown preview.
We do.
Larson.
Would you like to begin?
Let's see if they brought their A writers. Oh, man. We're launching into the Shane McMahon thing.
Oh, God. Why is Survivor Series season always when Shane gets involved in creative and bogs down the show?
I'm going to do this real quick, though, before we get into the SmackDown preview. Numbers are getting better. See if it reflects in the ratings. I put a poll up on the YouTube community tab. Make sure you subscribe and hit the notify bell on YouTube because we do these polls. 1,700 votes came in to determine how good was last night's Raw. Yay, nay, somewhere in between didn't watch. 43% of people did not watch.
That's less than half.
Yeah? It was better than, what was it, like?
A couple weeks ago where it was
like 60 or something.
Yeah, it was really a pretty high percentage.
32% said somewhere in between, kind of like our opinion. Somewhere in between. 17% got nay, and 9% yay, really liked it. So, there you go.
Very well.
There's
All
your
right,
snapshot.
here we go. How will Shane McMahon and Paige respond to Raw's Survivor Series bombshells? Are there really any bombshells on Raw? I don't feel like there was a bombshell. Survivor Series, the one night each year other than Mixed Match Challenge when SmackDown and Raw face off in head-to-head competition, is almost here, and the lineups for each brand's teams are beginning to take shape. Last night, Raw revealed that Braun Strowman, Dolph Ziggler, and Drew McIntyre will be heading into battle, while acting Raw General Manager Baron Corbin takes on a managerial role on November 18th. On the men's side, Alexa Bliss will captain the women's squad. How will Team Blue respond? We know that Paige has offered Charlotte Flair the captaincy for the women's team, but the Queen turned her down. Will she reconsider? How will SmackDown Live's men team begin to form?
Will Becky Lynch respond to Ronda Rousey, who was responding to Becky Lynch from last week?
Yes.
Last night on Raw, Ronda Rousey responded to SmackDown Women's Champion Becky Lynch by reminding her exactly who she is 2 weeks before their champion versus champion battle at Survivor Series. The Raw Women's Champion welcomed Lynch's aggression, telling the Irish Lass Kicker to bring all her anger to Los Angeles. How will the men respond to being called out by the baddest woman on the planet?
Next, how will Shane McMahon's WWE World Cup victory affect Team Blue?
There's already 2 titles in this preview with Shane McMahon's name in them.
Bad. This is a bad omen, man. Shockwaves were sent through. Really?
Shockwaves.
Sent through the WWE Universe last Friday when Shane McMahon replaced an injured Miz in the final of the WWE World Cup tournament and defeated Dolph Ziggler to become the best in the world. After threatening the jobs of the A-lister Randy Orton, Rey Mysterio, and Jeff Hardy ahead of the tournament, how will the commissioner's unique use of his power sit with the rest of Team Blue?
Who cares? Is AJ Styles ready for Brock Lesnar? No, he'll lose. When Brock Lesnar captured the vacant Universal Championship last week, a huge Raw versus SmackDown rematch was set for Survivor Series. A battle with WWE Champion AJ Styles. The Phenomenal One pushed the Beast to his limit last November before falling to Lesnar. How will the WWE Champion alter his game plan for this highly anticipated rematch? Find out tonight on SmackDown Live at 8, 7 Central on USA Network. Also, somebody in Discord, who was this, so I can give some credit to the Discord. Cody Miles. Said apparently Ray versus Almas is tonight.
Ooh.
Holy shit.
Ooh.
Wow. Wowie wow.
Awesome.
Huge.
All right, let's take some questions. Where was I? I lost my spot. Sorry. Sarbin Elite just left a super chat of monetary value. No comment. Thank you.
Thank you.
Josh Little, do you think Drew buried or embarrassed Kurt? I don't think it was he embarrassed. Kayfabe-wise embarrassed him. That was the whole point of it. Drake Quinn, name your price, Larson. The Archangel will buy his way into fun wrestling. Also, can I borrow 20 to pay some people back? Hashtag pay to play. Hashtag not good with money.
I don't think he understands the concept. Like you're not a bank. You're not lending out money.
No, I don't do that. Mike Adams, who do you think will win the Universal title first, Seth or Dean? Also, keep an eye out for James Michaels in the draft. Universal title? Probably Seth. LeVar Ball's neck. I miss Rollins doing the Phoenix Splash. Yeah, man, that's a great move.
It's a great move.
James McNeil, $2.
Alex C. in the Patreon, the mod, says, do you think Drew will be sole survivor this year?
It wouldn't surprise me, but hasn't Raw won the Survivor Series, men's Survivor Series match the last 2 years?
Yes. They definitely won last year because
Yeah.
there was that silly Triple H Kurt Angle thing.
Yeah.
That was horrible.
Or did the SmackDown win the year before? I don't recall.
Drew is the main event story on Raw right now.
Which is the A show still.
Which is the A show, so he's probably going to be sole survivor.
And I wouldn't complain about that.
No, I'd be fine with that, as long as it wasn't, like, cheesy.
This is a scenario where Drew and Braun brawl and take each other out of the match somehow.
Good question from Mondo Vulgare. Which would get the bigger reaction at the Survivor Series? AJ beating Brock or Becky beating Ronda?
Becky beating Ronda.
AJ beating Brock. Are you kidding me? Absolutely. Nobody expects that. Nobody expects that. What people would flip because it means something really, really interesting.
I think Becky beating Ronda would mean something pretty interesting too.
I think, yeah, but not like.
Ronda's
been around.
I mean,
since Mania.
AJ beating Braun would be more unexpected. It'd be more shocking.
And thus it would get the bigger pop.
I don't know. Becky's.
It might get a Bruno pop, like that weird thing where they're like, it just goes silent.
Yeah, I know. It'd be more of a shock gasp thing. Whereas I think Becky, if she were to beat Ronda, Becky's like the most over wrestler in the entire company right now.
Yeah, but AJ's still supremely.
Oh yeah.
He's still supremely over, and Brock has a lot more. He's got a lot. There's a lot more riding on Brock.
Yeah, Brock has a lot more cachet in terms of seeming unbeatable at this point.
Becky'd get a huge pop though. She'd get a huge
yeah.
pop, maybe a bigger one, but I don't know, man. Beating Brock is a big deal.
It is a feat.
Let's see here. Let's see if I can get some hashtag firsts.
Some new ones.
Not first. Here we go. Nathan Gibson. Do you have a favorite Survivor Series elimination match? So I kind of don't have.
It's the one where Dolph won. He was a sole survivor.
It's the one where Dolph won. What was that, like 3 years ago?
Yeah, it was Team Cena versus Team Authority, and it was down to like Dolph and 3 members of the Authority. Sting showed up.
That was cool.
Yeah,
that was really
cool. Memorable.
Yeah.
Jurgen Johnson and Johnson. Steve, you walk into the office and Larson immediately hits you with a massive dirty deeds out of nowhere.
Cool.
What's the most likely thing you did wrong to deserve this?
I don't even have the time. Like, there isn't the space on a piece of paper. There's any number of things.
Name one.
Accidentally deleted our channel. That's probably number one. Matt Hurlbert. Do you think it's possible that the other 3 MMA horsewomen back Becky versus Ronda, leading to the WWE horsewomen backing Ronda, with a potential double switch down the road as the teams properly align before the next Survivor Series? No, only because they obviously set up with that Charlotte Becky Performance Center thing. They had the horsewomen and they were sort of chuckling at all. at it all.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't see that.
I think it'd be interesting though if the Horsewomen came out.
I think that'd be. I know.
And help Becky. I think that'd be great. That guy. Is it just me, or are the WWE and SmackDown Women's Championships the only main roster titles that really seem to matter?
The WWE and SmackDown Women's Championships only main roster.
Really seem to matter.
Seem to matter? Well, to who?
Or them seem important. Vital.
Okay, I'll put it this way. Those are the only titles. Yeah.
They're the titles with usually the most interesting feuds.
Those titles can change hands.
Yeah.
I'll put it that way.
Yeah.
And if something can change hands, that it's infinitely more interesting
Yes.
than if it cannot.
Yes.
And I know, granted, AJ, nobody's taken that title off AJ in a very long time, but there's always maybe. Whereas the Universal title,
it's not going anywhere.
That's not going anywhere.
Yeah.
Same with Ronda's title.
Horton, here's a new writer. What superstars were popular only because of the era they were in, but would have failed in any other? And what superstars could be put in any era and they would thrive?
What era would the Godfather thrive in that isn't the Attitude
Just
Era?
the Attitude Era.
And I'm talking about the character, not the Charles
Wright.
Charles Wright. I mean, that dude, he could have thrived in any era, depending on the creative. The Godfather character only works in the Attitude Era. Only works.
Mm-hmm.
Put him in now, and it's like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Put him in the 80s, what are you doing?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, that would be my answer for characters that can only thrive in a particular era.
I mean, maybe Val Venus. Maybe Val Venus. He can't be any time before the Attitude Era.
No, but he could have been fine in the Ruthless Aggression Era, which wasn't that different than the Attitude.
Yeah,
but
they were still doing racy stuff. But even at that point, I mean, that's why I kind of tuned out during a bit of the Ruthless Aggression Era, because it was like, you kind of realize, really, you guys are still doing that stuff?
Yeah. Zach Stolpa, Naito reportedly turned down WWE. How much was it for? They probably
less than $3 million.
Yeah. We're going to talk about that on the Saturday show in detail.
Cool.
But yeah.
Michael Valdez. Who in the current WWE would you like to see wrestle Owen Hart and Mr. Perfect in singles matches in a dream match scenario? Well, Mr. Perfect, that's easy. His kid. What's the name?
Curtis Axel.
Curtis Axel. Thank you. I kept on wanting to say McGillicuddy.
Well, that used to be his name.
I know.
Michael McGillicuddy.
Yeah.
I think his real name's Joe.
Joe Hennig.
Mm-hmm.
Who do you want to see wrestle Owen?
Seth Rollins.
He's sort of the plug-in answer for anything, though.
Yeah.
You know? Zack Sabre Jr.
Okay.
I want to see him wrestle. I mean, I know he's not WWE, but still. Or if it has to be WWE, somebody in 205 Live. Like Mustafa Ali.
Drew Gulak.
There you go. Perfect.
AO Worm, which rematch from TNA would you like to see Drew in against, Angle or Lashley? We saw him against Angle, so I guess Lashley.
Yeah, we saw Angle. 16 hours. Oh, maybe he put that before the main event.
Oh, it could be.
Joseph McInnes. Better chance of becoming Universal Champions, Finn or Lashley?
I guess right now you have to say Finn. No, I'd probably say Lashley because he's a heel. You can always imagine a decently booked heel put in a program that might have a short title reign. I just think it's more likely that if you're a heel, you get booked into a title program, it's more likely you're going to get a short reign just in the context of the storyline versus a face.
He's also sort of like a big monster guy.
Mm-hmm.
And I just feel like they don't let Finn, they don't act like Finn can get anything but like a fluke victory, which is weird because he totally beat Roman Reigns, like,
I know,
and Seth Rollins clean.
I know.
I don't know what changed. Master of memes, Blake Whitehouse. Do you see Jason Jordan getting involved in the Angle Corbin storyline?
No.
Did you see the I guess it was a .com thing, the Bobby Roode Chad Gable comes in with a bathrobe.
It said Victorious or something on it.
Yeah,
I saw something about that.
Oh man, Bob Roode.
They couldn't even make it on TV with that. Richard Nason with Author of the Pain's victory, the most underwhelming title victory in recent memory. It's up there. Should have been a squash match.
Yeah,
totally should have been a squash match.
45 seconds. The real Slow Wolf. How many of those brass rings do you think Drew grabbed this past 3 months?
Oh, man.
If he wins the Universal title after this Brock Lesnar nonsense is done with, would that make him one of the? That makes him. I'm trying to say one of, but maybe the top NXT call up. Who's the top NXT call up right now?
Well, Kevin Owens. He's probably the most decorated.
If it was a year ago, I would have said yeah, but man, he's fallen on hard times.
Yeah.
Even before his injury, it was like, what are they doing with him? Like in terms of like sustained, I could see Drew, if he doesn't get injured, having a sustained reign on sort of in the main event on Raw.
Yeah.
He could be top NXT call up, man.
Oh, potentially, yeah.
You know.
Ask the question in a year. Chad McCollum.
Yeah.
Sick as F. Thanks for the show, friendos.
Sad.
Sorry to hear.
I hope you feel better.
Yeah,
Chad.
feel better, please.
Feel better.
Here we go. That guy booked the best way to make the Universal title relevant again. I say have Drew squash Brock at Mania in under a minute. Just have him block a spear with a knee, then Claymore kick 1, 2, 3, instantly making Drew the guy and a bigger star than he already is, while also making the title interesting again. They're not going to book Brock to get squashed by anybody that's not Bill Goldberg.
Yeah.
I mean, you put that belt on Drew and instantly gets more interesting because he's interesting.
Yeah. I mean, you put that title on Braun. I just look, the title being held up by a part-timer is just, I'm so far. Everybody's over it.
Yeah.
It's just, I'm over it, you know? Put it on Braun, then it could get to Drew, you know? It can get to Seth. It can go to any number of people. Dean. I want a world title that's on the freaking show.
Yeah.
Ryan Regani, will we see Bray and Harper back as a tag team on Raw anytime soon?
Maybe.
The rumor was that there was at least a pitch out there in a writers' meeting that would put the Wyatts back together.
Yeah. Yep.
This is a great question, and it's an easy answer. Mr. Lipkin Unlimited. Other than Adam Cole, if you could add one person from WWE to the cast of Being the Elite, who would you add?
Kevin Owens.
Kevin Owens.
Kevin Owens.
It's Kevin Owens.
Totally Kevin Owens. He was on an episode of Being the Elite.
Mm-hmm.
It'd be Kevin Owens and it'd be the New Day. Those are the answers.
Yeah, those are great answers. Anyways, I think that's good. Are we going to do pay-per-view today?
No, we've got enough time.
Very well. Let's hit the music then. Oh, God.
Oh, we can hear it.
Hold on.
Oh, dear.
Hit the music. Stop. Hilton, you messed it up. God damn it. Here. Now, let's hit the music. There we go. There's some music for you. Anyways. If you haven't done it already, get out and vote.
Yes.
Get out and vote.
Yes, please.
Go do it. Thanks so much for watching. Patrons, $5 and up. Stay tuned. Keep an eye on the Patreon wall. We'll post the link to post show very soon. Until next time, talk to you guys later. Go vote!
Go vote.